When we last left our heroes, they had gone on an expedition north of the town in order to try to find whoever was capturing people on the road. They did manage to find them, or more accurately, the Lizardfolk bandits found the party and captured them. However, they were able to distract the Lizardfolk long enough to escape and return to the safety of the local town. We need to go back there. Do we really? We almost got killed by them last time, why don't we just stay in Aramoor and become merchants or something? There's a lot of silver in that business, and also it's a lot safer than adventuring. The only reason we almost died last time was because they got the jump on us, but this time we know where their base is and we can ambush them instead. Also, the other main problem last time is that we had our gear stolen from us, but if we go in there with our armor and weapons at the ready, then we should be able to win easily. Alright, fine. We'll go back out there. Though if things start to go south, then I'm gonna ignite everything with my alchemist fire and run away. Before the party could go back out, they had to rest in the town for a week to get their health back. Around the middle of the week, Flynn saw a wizard sleeping in the corner of the tavern and went over to him. Hello? You're a wizard, right? Yeah, something like that. Who are you? The name's Flynn, and I was wondering if you'd be able to help me with something. If you're investigating Esserith, that was mostly not my fault. How was I supposed to know that the restaurant had a giant vat of alchemist fire underneath the kitchen to heat the food? What? No, I just wanted you to use magic to track someone down for me. Oh, yeah, I can do that, easy. Though, what's in it for me? I've got a bunch of silver I can pay you with. Nah, silver's boring. How about this? You go find me a crate of Vladri, and then I'll use magic to track this person down for you. There's a crime syndicate in the town that makes a bunch of it, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Alright, sounds good. Flynn didn't have very much time that week to do any investigating into that, and a few days later the party was on their way back out to the Lizardfolk Camp. Though as they were beginning their journey, they heard footsteps running up behind them. Hey, you didn't think you could just leave me behind on this journey, did ya? Oh, I didn't realize you wanted to go back to that clearing. Well, those bastards killed my brother and stole my bronze, so I feel like I owe them a bit of carnage. And also I need to get my bronze back so I can actually make any money. Plus, I figured that your group might need some help considering what happened last time. Hey, you ran away too. And also a true warrior never needs assistance. What they mean to say is that it's always good to have another ally in the fight. Welcome to the team. After a long day of travel, the party arrived at the Lizardfolk Camp. However, it looked very different from last time. It was dark, with clouds blocking most of the moonlight, meaning that they had to rely on Jimmy the jellyfish lamp for most of their vision. There was a thin layer of fog along the ground coming from the river, and it was eerily quiet. Some of the tents were destroyed, and there were no lizard folk in sight. Then, Flynn noticed a rotting lizard-like hand reach out of one of the ruined tents, dig its fingers into the ground, and drag itself out into the clearing. At this point, the party got into combat against a pack of lizardfolk zombies that crawled out of the tents in the river. These zombies were able to get surprise against the party, and they immediately began the attack. Two of the zombies immediately attacked Vareol and dropped him to half health. Meanwhile, the third one grappled Boznak and bit him for a hefty chunk of damage. Flynn's turn was up next, and he ran into the swarm and took one down with a power attack from his axe. Boznak spent all of his actions trying to break out of the zombie's grapple, however, he was unsuccessful. Harnik fired his crossbow at the zombie that was grappling Boznak and got a critical hit that immediately killed it. Vareol was the last in initiative, and he missed in his attack against the final zombie. Initiative looped back to the beginning and the zombie got another attack against Vareol, which dropped his health even closer to 0. Flynn used his attack to finish the last zombie off, and the combat was over. Or at least that's what they thought. The party felt the ground rumble around them as a skeletal minotaur stepped out of the woods with a great axe in hand. Well, that doesn't look good. Vareol was first in initiative, and he ran right up to the Minotaur and attacked with his sword, which barely dealt any damage, and the undead barely even seemed to notice. The Minotaur was up next, and it used a cleave attack that dealt damage to every member of the party at once. This ended up being enough damage to down Vareol. What was that about a true warrior not needing assistance? Harnik shot the Minotaur with his crossbow and dropped him to around half health. It was now Boznak's turn, and he used alchemist fire to deal some more damage to the Minotaur. However, it was still barely hanging on to undeath. On Flynn's turn, he ran up to the Minotaur with his axe and swung his weapon deep into the thing's skull, killing it. However, upon death, the skeleton's bones exploded, and the shards of bone fragments dealt damage to all of the party members. After combat, Boznak had to use one of his last potions to bring Vareol back up, and the party decided to rest in one of the tents for the night, and then travel back to the town in the morning. However, during the night, while Flynn was on watch, he noticed that the river behind them had gone silent, and he quickly woke everyone up and they looked outside. They saw that the river had completely frozen over, and the temperature in the area had plummeted to well below safe levels. Standing in the center of the area was a rotting corpse with pale skin and glowing red eyes, which brought two of the Lizardfolk back to life as wights with glowing orange eyes. Well, I think this counts as things going south. Boznak immediately threw alchemist fire into the clearing and started sprinting back to the city as the rest of the party followed. While they were fleeing, the wight with red eyes pointed at the party, and the two Lizardfolk wights began to chase after them. However, the party was eventually able to lose them. The party returned to town safely. However, the Lizardfolk wights were still out there in the wilderness, waiting for when they could hunt the party down.